A common error when first learning to knit is accidentally increasing, where you start out with a certain number of stitches and then you start ending up with more stitches than you originally started with. So one of the big ways that this happens is right here at the beginning of the row. So when you finish a row, your knitting looks kind of like this, right? It's a mess. And so what you want to do is pull down your fabric so that you can kind of see your stitches. This first stitch, however, is always going to be looser than the rest of them. Now, when you knit this stitch, it'll tighten up and it'll look nice and smooth in your fabric. Like you can see here, this is the first stitch. It ends up evening out. But at the beginning, what a lot of beginner knitters do is they see this yarn in the front and they go, oh, well, the yarn needs to be in the back for the knit stitch, which is absolutely correct. But what's not correct is to take this yarn and do this. Okay, what happens is you're only supposed to have one stitch, but when beginners see this being really loose here, they think, oh, that must be wrong. This looks better because these loops look the same as these loops. But what you're doing is making this one stitch now into two loops. And if you knit those, okay, I started with 8 stitches, but when I knit these, well, that first one's actually hard to grab this way. But if I knit those and I go to finish my row, I have 1, 2, then I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 instead of my original 8. Doing this over multiple rows will cause your fabric to expand and start going out to the side instead of being a nice straight rectangle. You can even see that here. Okay. It's going to start going out to this side, and then if you do it the next row, it's going to go out here, and it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. So you want to be very cautious with that first stitch when you do it to make sure that you're not accidentally turning it into 2 loops because you want your tension to look right, okay? So we're going to go into this last stitch real quick just so that I can show you one more time. You turn your work, and this stitch here is loose. That's okay. We want that. Pull your fabric down at the end of every single row, including that first loop, and then you go into your stitch just like we normally do, okay, in through here, above this thing. And we will in through the front door, run around back, out through the front door, off jumps Jack. Now, to show you that I mean what I say, it's going to even out. I'm going to finish this row, and then I'm going to show you how that looks. So I don't want you to panic about that loop being a little bit bigger. It's okay, it's normal. All right, so we finish this row here. I'm gonna turn my work. Okay, now we have a new first loop. Look at this, nice and big. That's okay. We're gonna pull these down. This was our first loop last time, and look at it. It's all evened out. This over here will too, okay? So again, when you go into your stitch, just leave this yarn hanging down below. Don't loop it in the back. Let me know if you need any more help. Thanks.